ICT activities for preschoolers. Being a former teacher myself, time is limited, isn't it? We all know we have limited time. That's what I'm trying to say, and that means that we're limited time not just for learning context, but to come up with ideas for activities. So I've put together a list of ICT tools that you can apply, that you would most probably have already in your learning environment, that are freely available, that are generic, that are easy to use. And amongst those, I've put in a list of ideas that I've found for you to start applying to inspire yourself to come up with new ideas. So let's have a look at them and see what you can come up with in the end. So the first one is digital cameras. Now there are a number of digital cameras that you can use that are freely available, which include standalone cameras on smartphones and tablet computers such as iPads. Here are some ideas that you can apply in your own early learning environment today. Use the cameras to take photographs of the children's creative play. Support children in their own learning and use of digital photography, and encourage reflection on their ICT learning experiences and on the photos taken themselves. You can take still images of the children's favorite toys or objects and then practice stop motion animation by taking more photos of them and then putting them into programs such as PowerPoint to create an animated experience. You could also use cameras on smartphones or tablet computers to look more closely at natural objects and use the photographs and once uploaded as a stimulus for art and creative work. So those are some ideas that you can use for your digital camera use. The next tool is video cameras. Now, once again, you can be finding them on tablet computers, laptops, even standalone video cameras. They all have video cameras or video recorders on them, and you can show young children how to use a video camera either as one of those on one of those video cameras. They will enjoy exploring their own playful uses of the camera, and you need to give them time for them to be able to do this, and not attempt to structure the uses too soon or too often. It's also important that when they are given plenty of opportunities to explore and play with them, they should be able to get to the point that they are ready, that you are ready to plan for their experiences more structurally in the future. So here are some ideas as how you can use video cameras. You can observe the children's playful use and build on these. Make use of the children's recording of each other, or you could video children's play as characters from storybooks or act well-loved tales. My next one is web cameras. Now they are also can be found on laptops or on desktops as standalones. And if you added an extension to them, then they can be moved around, and most of them would have a button on top for the children to be able to take a still image or record something. And that can be done either through, like I said, that button, or if there is software that goes with it, they can do it through the software itself to take photos or videos. So some ideas that you could use for this would include encouraging children to record their process, the process of an activity as they progress. What would happen if you just let the webcam on and for a certain period of time, and let the children be stimulated by seeing themselves in camera? Young children love to sing, so why not record them singing in a group? Or work with a colleague in your learning setting to share favorite rhymes. So those are a number of ways that you could use web cameras in your learning environment today. Graphic programs is one of my favorite forms of software that you can come across in the learning environment, because there are so many possibilities for it to be used. Images, patterns, shapes, and colors are features of children's early learning, and drawing and painting programs often have tools such as rainbow colors, and children can mix media, combining digital and traditional media. Such programs give children's mark making a certain kind of equality that they can be, they can be particularly useful for children with individual needs, or with the children with those lack of confidence in their own mark making. It will be also important for you to have strategies to support the children in their discovery of how software works, as well as to assist with problem solving. So being confident and competent users of graphic software is important in order to facilitate children's learning. Here are some ideas to use graphic programs creatively in your early learning environment today. You can model uses of the software yourself. You can also model the use of the graphics program, teaching children how to use each of the tools according to their own levels of competence and interest. You can stimulate children's interest by starting a blank page. Paint and save an outline of a spaceship, shop, or night sky. Then the children can use their tools and paint over the top of these, using the tools available and clip art to fill with the objects. You can also take a photo with a digital camera, or even copy a photo from Google image searches and get the children to paint over those. Another idea is to crop half an image to remove it, and then ask the children to fill in the blank half. Clown faces are a good idea for children to use, and you can find ones that can be colored in with the software. What about printing off a painting and then adding it to the creative area for the children to continue with themselves by using traditional tools? So as you can see, there's a number of different ways you can use graphic software. In my recent interview with Dr. Kate Highfield, a senior lecturer of the University of Australian Catholic University, she went through a number of ways in which you could use programmable toys, and you can catch them all in the free webinar web replay. But some other ideas would be to maybe tape white chalk to the back of a Pixie or even a B-bot or blue bot and draw on a black piece of paper using the toy? Or what about taping pens or using a B-bot or what is known as a Pixie scribble pack to draw with the Pixie on the black paper? So you can find a whole list of ideas and inspirational ideas in the free webinar replay with Dr. Kate Highfield. Smartboards are appropriate for young children because they operate through finger touch. What this does is make drawing, rubbing out and moving objects on the board a very sensory experience. The large screen also allows for collaboration in early childhood education when children can collaborate with each other. So here's some ideas as how you can apply your use of smartboard today. So earlier I discussed the use of graphic software, and with smartboards this can be enhanced. As children make marks, show them what the range of tools can do. You can model using the tools and then stand back and monitor their capabilities in ICT. You can also model using the board to make designs for a playground model or pattern for wrapping paper might be an idea. Or you could scaffold children's uses of the gallery clip art to retell traditional stories, or you could even piece together a nursery rhyme. Digital roleplay is about learning without failure, and there are many ways in which you can support the children's use of digital technology in your early learning environment. Here are some ways in which you can support digital roleplay today. For example, you can be creative in your provision of everyday digital technology. What about adding defunct mobile phones to pockets in children's dressing up clothes? Another idea would be to add a computer with some sort of roleplay software. For example, add at the doctor's or an accounting or some sort of software that resembles everyday life. How about also using a computer to print out prescriptions or stock taking charts for the children to fill in? You can even print out signs and notices. And just as another idea, to be able to include any sort of defunct digital technology. That's defunct means pretty much it's not working. So it could be smartphones, it could be old laptops, it could be old cameras, anything like that that still resembles digital technology today. And it can be working technology as well. And don't forget as well, one of the best forms of role-play toys is the ones that the children make themselves. So they could be taken on an excursion to see technology in their local area. They could come back, they can do some craft activities that make their own favorite technology that they saw or that they know of, and then they can use that in their own role play situations and just have it sitting there in their boxes there for them to dive into in the future. Computers is probably the most well-known and widely used ICT tool in early childhood education today. So when integrating ICT, you must always ensure that the children view technology, such as computers, as tools for their learning. Use content-free software and that is also generic software that will support the development of ICT capability and challenge children intellectually. Also, it's important to understand that only use subject-specific software if your focus is to support literacy or numeracy, for example, and maintain a balance between these two types of software, that is content-free and content software. So here are some ways in which you can use or integrate computers in your learning environment today. You can demonstrate using a computer how to make signs, lists, labels, envelopes, etc. You can develop children's creative thinking by responding to their technology interests with them through internet searches. You can use peripherals such as webcams, microphones, etc. to make the most of the computer's creative opportunities. You can model your own creative uses of a computer, and children will quickly join in on those sort of things. You can add photos of the children to the screensaver. You can also use all of the above ideas that I've mentioned already onto your, into your integration. And as a final idea for inspiration, hopefully this inspires you to add speech bubbles to photographs of children at play and support the children in putting in what they want to say. So those are just some ideas that I have found. They're not my ideas. I found those ideas, and there are ways for you to either use or to be inspired from. And I hope you go and creatively and effectively and successfully integrate technology in your early learning environment today.